Yo, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to the channel. With the NFL playoffs starting this weekend, in today's video I'm going to be doing a prediction and breakdown video of this weekend's wildcard matchups. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. Right, so in our first matchup of the weekend, we've got the Colts and the Bills in the 7-2 game in the AFC. The spread is -6.5 for Buffalo with an over-under of 51. I would definitely take the over in this game, just my recommendation. Don't kill me if I'm wrong. But if you look at these two offenses, they've both been hot the last few weeks, especially the Bills, and all season both of these offenses have shown that they're capable of scoring points. I mean, if you just look at what the Bills have done their last three outings, they've scored 38 plus points in each of those last three games against the Dolphins, Patriots, and the Broncos. So it's going to be a high scoring game. I can go ahead and tell you that no matter who wins. But I do believe that the Bills just have too much for the Colts to handle. Colts defense just struggled against the pass. And I mean, going up against a guy like Josh Allen, who's put together the season that he has, honestly, when Josh Allen's not playing like he's playing Madden, I think he can be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL and has a shot at MVP this season. But like I said, the Bills are the favorite to win this game, and I think they will. I've got a 34-27. Buffalo wins and covers. Right, in our second game on Saturday, we've got the 3-6 matchup in the NFC with the Seahawks and the Rams. Spread is Seahawks -3.5 with an over-under of 42.5. This game, in my opinion, is going to be a defensive struggle, grinded out type football game. I think it's an interesting matchup though. Obviously, these teams are in the same division, have already played twice already. They've split the series. Seahawks offensive line has struggled this season. It's been leaky, I'll put it that way, at times, and they're going up against one of the best, if not the best, defensive line in all of the NFL. Leonard Floyd himself, thought this was an interesting stat, has sacked Russell Wilson 5 times already this season. Obviously, they also have Aaron Donald, who is, probably the best all-around player in the NFL. However, Rams have even more question marks. The health of Jared Goff being the main one. I'm sure he will play, but how will he be? Will he be at 100%? We don't know. We're going to have to see. He already has been inconsistent this season. He's shown he can do it against the Seahawks, had a great game in the game that they won, but in the game that they lost, he's far more inconsistent. Overall, though, I think the Seahawks, in that close game, will pull it out. I've got a 20-17 Seattle. Right, in the primetime game this Saturday night, we've got the Washington football team hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Spread for this game is Tampa Bay -8 with an over-under at 45. Now, what a story the Washington football team has been this season. I mean, just all across the board, from playing the season without a name to making it to the playoffs with a 7-9 record, to obviously the stories of Ron Rivera coaching with cancer and then beating cancer, to Alex Smith making a miraculous comeback to just be playing football this season, much less starting 6 games and going 5-1 as a starter. However, just from a personnel standpoint, the Washington football team doesn't even compare to the embarrassment of riches that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. I mean, just look at it across the board. Obviously, they've got Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Gronkowski. I mean, just way too many weapons. Mike Evans, his health is in question for this game. I think he'll play. Whether he plays or not, I think, Tampa Bay will still be able to execute and do the same kinds of things. I love the energy from Chase Young, though, from the Washington football team, calling out Tom Brady after the game. I think Washington will give him, some resistance. I mean, they've got a good defense. They rank in the top 3, both in points allowed per game and pass yards allowed per game. So I think they'll make it somewhat interesting. However, I think the Buccaneers just have too many weapons. So I've got a 28-13 Tampa Bay. Right, moving into our first game on Sunday, we've got the 4-5 matchup in the AFC. We've got the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. Spread is Ravens -3.5 with an over-under of 54.5. I'll go ahead and tell you right now, take the over. Take the over, because you're going to see some points scored in this game. Titans, man, what an offense. I mean, they've had this season. Derrick Henry, what a player. First of all, I mean, we already know what Derrick Henry can do, but Ryan Tannehill has put together a great season as well. A.J. Brown also has put together a great season at the wide receiver spot. I mean, you've seen both of them take huge jumps this season. But yeah, they're going to put up some points. However, their defense has been shaky to say the least, and we already know what Lamar is capable of. That speaks to itself. So both teams in this game, I believe, are going to score points. These teams have matched up already this season. The Titans beat them in overtime, and this is a rematch of last season in the playoffs when the Titans also beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson's trying to break the stigma. It's 0-2 in the playoffs so far in his career. He's gotten a lot of heat for it. However, in my opinion, this is going to be a controversial one. I think the Titans are going to come through and beat them again. Mike Vrabel is really good at getting his teams out for games like this, and Lamar has not proven to me that he can himself get up for a game like this. So I'm going against the spread, going against what the experts are saying. I've got a 35-31 Titans. Right, so in our second game on Sunday, we've got the Chicago Bears traveling to the Dome to take on the Saints. Spread for this game is Saints -10, over-unders at 47. Now, the Saints, the story's been the last few years, they've gotten to the playoffs, they've done very well in the regular season, but just cannot quite get over the hump in the end and get to the Super Bowl. Will this be the year they finally can do it and let Drew Brees ride off from the sunset in what looks like is going to be his final season? Topic for a different video, we'll see. But in this game, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think the Saints have too many weapons. The Bears have some good players, yes. These teams played early in the season. It was a decently close game. But I think the Saints just have too much. They're going to come out to play. They're going to come ready. There's some questions about Alvin Kamara and his health. Obviously, he's had the COVID issues. Whether he plays or not, I think the result's still going to be the same. And I think he's going to play. They said if he's available Sunday, he's going to be there. It doesn't matter if he practices this week or not. But overall, Mitch Trubisky versus Drew Brees. Come on now. Saints win this one pretty easily in my opinion. I've got it 31-10 New Orleans. Last but not least, we've got the Browns traveling to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers in our Sunday night primetime game. Spread for this game, Steelers -6, over-under is 47.5. This game could end up being the game of the weekend. I think this is a very exciting matchup. However, I can't help but feel bad for the Browns. Finally make the playoffs. First time since 2002, and bang, COVID outbreak in their team. Obviously, Kevin Stefanski is out, along with multiple other on-field coaches. Joel Bitonio, critical part of the offensive line, is out on the COVID list, as well as Olivier Vernon picking up an Achilles injury is also going to miss this game, who's a crucial part of their tenacious pass rush. Now, this is an interesting matchup, though, if you look at how both of these teams play. Steelers have one of the best defenses in the NFL, but where they struggle a little bit on defenses against the run. The Browns, with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, one of the best run offenses in the NFL. But if you look at the Steelers' pass rush, P.J. Watt, insane player, led the NFL in sacks this year, just an absolute beast. Great pass rush on the other side, too, with the Browns. Myles Garrett, obviously, like I said earlier, Olivier Vernon is hurt, but still a very good pass rush. It's going to be an interesting matchup, man. It's a really close one, but I think with what the Browns have lost, and I think Steelers' home field advantage, narrowly, I'm going to give it to the Steelers. I got it 27-24. Yo, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what y'all's predictions were in the comments. I'd love to read them. But with that being said, I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Next week I have a video predictions for the next playoff round as well as reacting to these. So with all that being said, I will talk to y'all in the next video. Godspeed.